Hello kids, welcome to Kiddo Storytellers, where we bring stories to life. Today we are excited to present adventurous magical story of the Enchanted Rose. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there existed a great kingdom named Arcadia. The king and queen of Arcadia were known for their generosity and kindness, and they had a lovely daughter named Princess Isabella. They lived in a big castle near a river. They could see the water and the trees all around it, which looked really pretty. When the sun went down, the castle looked even more beautiful with a golden glow. It made the whole kingdom of Arcadia look fancy and special. Princess Isabella was a charming and graceful young lady. She spent most of her time playing in the castle gardens, admiring the beauty of nature around her. One day, there was a big thunderstorm with lots of rain, creating a flood-like situation. The king and queen were worried and having a discussion with their counselors about ways to help the kingdom. Meanwhile, the princess was playing on the veranda in front of the castle. An old woman came to the castle and asked for shelter from the terrible storm. Princess Isabella greeted the lady with a smile and open arms, welcoming her to the castle. "Welcome, kind lady," Isabella said with a gentle voice. "Please come inside and make yourself comfortable." The lady followed Princess Isabella into the castle. The princess provided clothes for the old lady to change into, as well as some fruit to eat. She also offered to let the old lady take shelter in her home for the day, until the storm had passed. Nobody knows that the old woman was actually a fairy in disguise, and she was grateful for the princess's kindness. As a gift, she gave Isabella an enchanted rose that would never wither or die. The fairy presented Princess Isabella with a beautiful enchanted rose, promising her joy and happiness for many years to come. However, there was a catch. If anyone ever picks the rose, a terrible curse will befall the kingdom, the fairy warned. "Promise me that you will keep the rose safe and never let it fall into the wrong hands." Princess Isabella promised the fairy that she would keep the rose safe and never let it be picked by anyone. She held the rose in her hands, determined to keep her promise and protect her kingdom from any potential harm that may come from the curse. Years went by, and the princess grew up to be a beautiful young woman. Her childhood was filled with laughter and joy, but she knew that one day, she would have to take on the responsibilities of a queen. Despite this, she never lost her sense of adventure and curiosity. One day, the princess met a handsome prince from a neighboring kingdom. Their eyes met, and they fell in love. They spent hours talking, getting to know each other, and exploring the kingdom together. As they spent more time together, their love grew stronger. They knew they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together, and so they decided to get married. The couple planned a grand wedding, inviting guests from far and wide to witness their union. The kingdom was filled with joy and excitement in anticipation of the big day. On the day of the wedding, the princess looked more beautiful than ever before. She walked down the aisle to her prince, who was waiting for her at the altar. During the wedding processions, an evil sorcerer named Zoltar snuck into the castle and tried to steal the enchanted rose. The princess tried to stop him, but he was too powerful, and he picked the rose, breaking the curse. As soon as the rose was picked, a dark cloud descended upon the kingdom, and the once beautiful flowers and trees withered away. The sky turned gray, and the once cheerful villagers became sad and hopeless. The princess was heartbroken, and she knew that she had to act quickly to save her kingdom. She and her brave prince set out on a perilous journey to find the rose and break the curse. They traveled through dark forests and treacherous mountains, facing many challenges and obstacles along the way. In the dark forest they suddenly heard a loud roar. They looked around and saw a giant dragon flying towards them. The dragon was angry and aggressive, but the princess and the prince remained calm. They knew that they had to find a way to calm the dragon down. The princess approached the dragon and spoke to it in a gentle voice. The dragon stopped roaring and listened to her. She offered the dragon some food and water, which the dragon gladly accepted. The dragon became friendly and let the couple to pass by, so they continued on their journey. One day, they entered a dark cave, not realizing that it was the home of a giant spider. The spider was angry and aggressive, and it attacked the couple. The princess and the prince fought bravely against the spider, and together they defeated the giant beast. With the spider defeated, the princess and the prince continued on their journey towards getting back the enchanted flower from evil sorcerer. As they got closer to Zaltar's castle, they were met with an army of fierce warriors. The prince and princess fought bravely, but they were outnumbered. Just when they thought all was lost, the enchanted rose began to glow. Suddenly, a powerful force knocked the warriors to the ground, and a beam of light shot out from the rose, striking Zaltar, and knocking him unconscious. The curse was broken, and the kingdom was restored to its former beauty. The prince and princess emerged victorious from their epic journey, and their love and bravery had conquered all. The enchanted rose continued to bloom in the castle gardens, serving as a symbol of their courage and love. They ruled their kingdom with fairness and kindness, passing on their legacy of bravery and compassion to their children and grandchildren. The end. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and share.